What's going on? I came across the video in regards to the game last night against the Bucks and the Lakers. This video is from the NBA on ESPN, and the reason why it caught my attention, I just didn't want to go over just any video, but I wanted to see what somebody like Stephen A had to say. And I found the video. So it says, I might have been wrong. Stephen A admits this about Bronny and Curry less Warriors. But more importantly, fuck the Warriors and Curry. I mean, I fuck with Steph Curry and the Warriors, but this is about Stephen A and the Bronny James game he had last night. Now, the Lakers played the Bucks last night. The Bucks beat them 118-89. So, what's that, man? 89, 99, 109, 119, yeah. They beat them by 29 points. All right. Bronny James is headlining the stats in a loss, a blowout loss to the Bucks, with 17 points, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds, which is his career high in the NBA. I've had my criticisms about Bronny James, but I honestly think he's a cool little dude. He seems like if you met him in person, he'd be cool to talk to and shit. And he's probably funny, you know what I mean? Maybe LeBron James is cool, you know what I'm saying? Outside of the bullshit he does in the NBA and on the court. Maybe he's cool personally, you know? We're from the same generation. He was born 84, I was born 85, so. He may be a straight dude personally, but in the NBA and some of the shit he does, man, I can't rock with it. But Bronny James in the NBA is averaging 2.3 points a game, 0.6 rebounds, 0.6 assists in 22 games he's played with the Lakers. In the G League, he's averaging 20 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. So he's doing his thing in the G League. But in my opinion, would have liked to see this in college, you know, where the games are significant and matter. Every game in college matters. Every game is significant, you know. So just like to see how he would perform under those circumstances. Had a decent year at USC, not even a decent year. It was less than stellar. 4 points a game. I don't know the rest of the stats, but I saw some clips of him dunking the ball, shit like that, you know. So, and Bronny James can hoop, man. It's not like he's a scrub and his dad got him in the league, you know. He can play. He seems like he's getting more comfortable playing at this level. But at the same time in the NBA, man, the Bucks, I want to say Giannis played, but come on, man. The star players for the Lakers didn't play. And the Bucks knew they were going to win. And I just feel like, yeah, Bronny, you do your thing. And see, that's the thing with today's NBA, man. If that was somebody like the Bulls or something like that, they would have probably tried to show you, you know, how inferior he is right now. You know, or just any team with a killer instinct. But the Bucks, you know, really don't play any defense. I don't think any team in the NBA plays any defense like that. So they allowed Bronny James to get his career high. And then again, like I said, the Bucks probably didn't care because they were playing against the Lakers' second unit most of the game. Well, really the whole game. And you know, probably wasn't a big deal what Bronny was out there doing to them because they knew they were going to win. Now, before I play the video, I just want to say, man, it's all good that Bronny's in the league. And like I said, I think he could hoop. I just don't think he's ready for this level right now. But, you know, the G League is developing him. And you know, if you're in something long enough, you'll catch on and, you know what I'm saying, something positive will happen sooner or later. My thing is, with that, if that were any other player in college basketball that averaged 4 points a game and did not start, and their team had a less than mediocre season, would that player get drafted? Would that player even get signed as a free agent and even get considered for the G League? That's the whole thing with it, man. Like I said, Bronny James can hoop. Just didn't think he was ready, or just don't think he's ready. And like I said, man, I know that LeBron James is his father. But again, if somebody in college is averaging 4 points a game, playing on a less than stellar team with a less than stellar record, and doesn't start, shows flashes here and there of athleticism, and of course, he can play. But would that player get drafted or even get an opportunity at the NBA? That's the whole thing, man. There are players that were more deserving to get drafted in that spot. They could have signed Bronny as a free agent, paid him whatever. But I guess it was his dream to get drafted, so they made it happen. And he's getting a guaranteed contract. I think that's some bullshit. And nobody really calls it out either, man. It's crazy. But yeah, Bronny James, 17 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, in a 29-point loss against the Bucks. And the crazy thing about that is, I see posts on Facebook, on YouTube, and even major sports outlets talking about it. They're not talking about the Bucks. They're not talking about who won or lost, really. They're just highlighting Bronny James' 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, I think it said. This shit's funny, man. But let's see what what ESPN has to say, because I have been talking a little while and I want to get into the video. So let's go.
The Lakers took a 118-89 loss to the Bucks last night, but it didn't come without some wins. Bronny James, a career-high 17 points, shooting 7 for 10 with 5 assists and 3 rebounds in 30 minutes of play. James Jr. even had a highlight moment, crossing up former MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here's head coach J.J. Redick postgame.
Not surprised by tonight. I think his confidence is growing. I think the next step is just, becoming like an elite conditioned athlete. Because when he does that with his physical tools and just his burst and his handle, and we think he's going to be an above average to really good NBA shooter. He's gonna have a chance to really make an impact.
Sarah mattered. I want to find and kill the people who murdered my wife.
You might be.
Now, I just want to touch on something that Molly just said. When she introduced it, she said the Lakers take a loss. She even highlighted the Lakers instead of the Bucks. It's really supposed to go, the Bucks defeat the Lakers, then you highlight the Bucks and what they did, or the good things that they did. You tell them who the leading scorer on the Bucks is. Highlight their shooting percentage if that was great. Things like that. She started it by saying the Lakers took a loss to the Bucks, but there's another win, or there's a win in regards to Bronny James getting a career high 17 points. So, what are we doing, man? We're dealing with moral victories now? Is that what we're doing? Is that what the NBA's come to? If that's what is that what basketball's come to? Is that what sports has come to? Moral victories? And like I said, you can highlight Bronny James and what he did, but after you give props to the winner and highlight the great things they did, then you go to Bronny James added 17 points, career high, looking good, all that. That's the type of shit that makes people mad, man. Especially real basketball fans, not the casual basketball fans or the LeBron nut riders. But real basketball fans, man. I just think that was crazy how they started that segment off, man.
Sarah mattered. I want to find
But I saw the highlights. You know, Bronny was hooping. I don't think the Bucks cared, man. I really don't. If they cared, I don't think it would have happened like that.
He said above average to really good shooter is his potential. Stephen A., what did you think of Bronny's performance last night?
I was very impressed. I was very impressed because I saw an elevation in his level of confidence and poise. It was like it didn't really faze him. He didn't look as nervous as he had looked in previous appearances on the basketball court. He looked like somebody that belonged. Now, obviously,
he looked confident.
Milwaukee gave it to them last night, but just looking at the Lakers without LeBron,
you can
without
tell he was
Luka,
confident.
without Rui Hachimura, without Austin Reeves, of course,
but Bronny
that
can
put
play.
Bronny James in a position where he could get his 30 minutes, but give credit where credit is due. There were some moves that he put out on the court, ball handling skills, getting to the basket, finishing at the basket, pulling up for jumpers, hitting a three, 17.7 to 10 shooting from the field. I was impressed, okay? This is the big picture here that I want to bring up. I might have been wrong. Are you listening, LeBron
What?
James? Are you listening, James family? Are you listening, Rich Paul? Are you listening, all you people? Because here's my position. My position was all along, Bronny James needed to be in the G League. Put him in the G League, let him be in the G League his first year, and then after that, let him come on, because I've always believed that this kid has the potential, once I watched him, to be in the NBA. But what I saw last night made me say to myself, wait a minute. He keeps showing up and playing like that. JJ Redick and his staff obviously doing an exceptional job coaching him. The G Leaguers obviously doing a good job of preparing him. Him sitting on the bench, learning, watching the Lakers players, being in practice with them sometimes. Evidently, that seems to be working for him. And if that kind of stuff continues, then indeed he'll be in the league as a bona fide player sooner than later. One game does that make that determination. You need to do more than that. But I wanted to make sure I emphasize that point. And the reason why I wanted to make sure I emphasize that point, Molly, is because when I was approached by Pops, okay, at courtside and all of this other stuff, I will contend till the cows come. Yeah, tell me about it. I will contend till the cows come home. I was never disrespecting Bronny James. I was the one that didn't watch him in high school because I didn't want to judge him like I would have had to had I gone to his game. I didn't go to his college games at USC because he had the heart condition. I waited and waited and waited until he got to the pro level because I wanted to give the kid a chance, because obviously being LeBron James' son puts him in a very precarious position. So this notion that I was disrespecting his son, it's a lie. It is false. We have numerous tapes that show I did not do that. But I did believe that he belonged in the G League to get himself honed for the NBA level. What may have been wrong about that is that evidently being around JJ Redick and that staff and being around Pops and the rest of the Los Angeles Lakers, combined with the G League going back and forth, may be doing wonders for him sooner than we anticipated. Because I liked what I saw last night. And I'm going to keep the same energy. When he plays well, we're going to give him props. When he doesn't play well, we're going to say so. That's what happens with covering the league. Maybe his pops didn't tell him that, but I'm going to tell him that. Congrats on a good performance last night. I hope it continues. I believe it will. And I believe he's going to be an NBA player, a bona fide NBA player, a lot sooner than people think based on the progress we're seeing him make.
Now, we heard what Stephen A. had to say. And I agree. I think Bronny James is going to be a good player in the NBA someday. He's just not ready right now. Well, you know, he's been developing. But my whole thing, again, going back to what I said earlier, will somebody of that caliber coming out of college even get an opportunity? You know, it would have been good to see him prove himself in college. But we got Stephen A. walking his statement back now. I didn't say that. That's not what I said. Come on, Stephen A. You ain't got to do all that, man. Just congratulate the young man and move on, bro. We know you didn't mean any disrespect. At least I didn't think you meant any disrespect. I didn't hear anything disrespectful when Stephen A. made his comments earlier in the season about Bronny James. But is this what we're doing now? Because of who his father is, you got to kiss his ass? Because that's what Stephen A. was doing, man. Kissing his ass. Stephen A., you look bad, man. You don't have to kiss his ass. Just compliment him and move on. And to say you might have been wrong, Stephen A., it's one game, bro. This man still averages 2.3 points. That may have boosted his average somewhat. 0 rebounds, 0 assists, man. And he gets playing time. He's played 22 games, and he plays when he's, you know, when they put him in the game, he plays. It's crazy, man. Stephen A., don't lose your respect and dignity, man. Trying to appease LeBron James. You good, man. He says he didn't want to see him play in high school because he didn't want to judge him. Since when we start doing that, man? Pretty soon. Well, and he said he didn't want to see him play in college because he didn't want to judge him. He wanted to wait till he got to the NBA to give him a chance. How did you even know he was going to get to the NBA? That was, I mean, it was somewhat guaranteed, I guess, but man, whatever. But anyway, you were afraid to judge him. So is this what it's going to be now? With players and their children, once they get in the NBA, we can't judge them. That's this LeBron James shit, man. Oh my God, bro. And my last thing, man. They didn't mention anything about the Bucks. Not a goddamn thing. Not any stats from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Not any stats from, you know, not any game stats, team stats. They just highlighted Bronny James. ESPN is crazy, man. ESPN is fucking wild. You would have thought Bronny James led the Lakers to victory last night, the way they talking about him, man. And you would have thought this is some guy like a Dalton Connect that was drafted, lottery. Maybe I haven't seen him struggle, really. He's been playing good to me. But drafted, lottery, may have been struggling at the beginning of the year, but he's getting it together. And win or lose, I can understand you highlighting him. But you still got to highlight the team that won, bro. Or else, what are we doing, ESPN? Is this about basketball or bullshit and moral victories? 118-89, Milwaukee beat the Lakers. Giannis had 28 points. He was 9 for 15. 10 for 12 free throws. Dalton Connect also added 17 points. 5 for 14 field goals. 4 for 5 free throws. But again, the Lakers lose. Box score. Let's see. Kyle Kuzma had 20. 5 and 5 in the victory. Again, Giannis Antetokounmpo, 28, 4 assists, 7 rebounds in the victory. Gary Trent Jr. had 23, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. You know? Let's highlight that. I know the Bucks are like, what the fuck is going on, man? Maybe they don't care, man. But I think that's crazy. Now, let's check out the plus minus. Well, we know everybody was negative. There's no way anybody on the Lakers team was positive. But yeah, man. Largest lead for the Bucks in that game was 35 points, bro. What are we doing, ESPN? But all in all, good game by Bronny James. You know, do your thing. But I think this is crazy how ESPN and Stephen A. Smith. Well, I think it's crazy how Stephen A. Smith is walking back some things. Or like cowering, man. That's what happens, man, when you take that kind of money. You got to deal with the bullshit that comes with it, bro. But maybe Stephen A. doesn't really care like that, man. And then, man, is this what we doing now? Is this about basketball? Or is this about some bullshit and moral victories? That's all I got, man.